Yo, what is the deal? What is the deal? It's another segment of the Future Flavor Show. It's your boy, Cold Blooded. Shout out to the grateful ones at the crib watching, live and direct from Win 107.3, Pittsburgh's #1 for hip hop, and I got a very special guest in the building. This one here is, how can I say this? I'll say to me, I'm not a mother, but I'll say role model representation of a strong mother. Got her own business going on. She sings. She's doing her thing out here. She's low key, but she's also very primitive in the Pittsburgh scene, both in cosmetology and in the music industry, if you ask me. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, Janiece.
Hey, what's going on? I ain't even gonna hold you. I'm a little nervous right now.
That's okay. All right, can you like move the mic like to like a little over?
Like,
to the side of her
Other way.
face?
Other way.
Oh, this way.
Yeah. See, look, I can see you now.
Okay.
Why are you nervous?
It's just been a while since I've been on the scene to talk about anything that had to do with music, or just since I've been outside. I've been kind of hibernating.
Keep going.
Yeah, I've been kind of hibernating, just been working on my business, trying to get everything off the ground, and just kind of been to myself, just thinking more logically versus being creative. And I'm definitely trying to pop back out on the scene and show my face a little bit more, get back into the music industry the way I was before, because I was going a little crazy at one point, well, compared to what I'm doing now.
Well, what prompted this hiatus, in a way, if you want to call it that?
I had to take a look at my life and realize what it was that I wanted, and there were some changes that I needed to make, and there were some sacrifices that I had to take. Like I was at a salon for 6 years. I built my career there, built my clientele, everything, and there were a few things that I wanted to do, and just based on the salon I was in, there were certain rules that were in place, which it was putting a cap on things that I wanted to do, you know, and out of respect, I wanted to respect the workplace that I was in.
Do you feel like your creativity was hindered a little bit?
Yes, just a little bit. Well, and that's why I had to go a separate way, and I appreciate all the opportunities and everything that I've had while I was in that establishment, but I felt like it was time for me to grow. It did take a toll on me, creatively. It did take a toll on me creatively, and yeah, I noticed that it was becoming harder for me to write, and I wasn't singing as much and stuff like that, just because I was stressed about other things. So yes, I had to do what I needed to do for me to open up that avenue again, and I'm literally standing in that place right now. Like I have my business off the ground. I finally moved into a new space, so now I have room for me to start being creative again.
Well, congratulations. That's a beautiful thing to hear and see.
Thank you.
Just to backtrack a little bit, where you originally from, and what was life like growing up there?
Well, I was actually born on the hill.
Okay.
But we moved off the hill when I was maybe about 4 years old. But I still had family who lived on the hill, and we also went to church at Macedonia.
Yeah.
So,
is that where Reverend Grayson's at? No?
Honestly, I haven't been there in so long.
Yeah,
but he used to be Pastor Barr.
Okay.
But he passed away.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I used to spend my childhood, especially my summers, up on the hill, and we always went to church and everything. But we did a lot of moving around young. Like I moved to the west side. I used to cheerlead for West Pittsburgh. I don't know if that's what they're called now, but it's definitely the west side team. And then we moved over to Penn Hills when I was in 4th grade, and I've been out there ever since.
Yeah.
But
you graduated from Penn Hills too?
Yep, I graduated from Penn Hills.
Okay, that's what's up. I'm saying, finally, I'm interviewing somebody that's from Penn Hills, knows what it's like.
Yes. Like,
You graduated from the old high school, huh?
No, actually, I was the
New
last
line?
class to actually start my year off in the old high school and finished in the
Really?
new high school. They transferred us over after
Really?
school, after Christmas break.
I was there too.
You was there?
Yeah.
What year did you graduate?
16.
Oh yeah, you was.
Well,
Wait,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. Oh, I didn't know you were younger than
yeah. I'm
me.
not that old.
That's what's up. Yeah, well, yeah, I was
Yeah.
there. I graduated 2013.
Okay, like half the year was in the old one. It was. I'm not gonna say it was trash, but like it was like real like packed in. You know what I'm saying?
I missed the old high school.
It was cool.
It was lit.
Had a vibe to it. And the new one, it was like going to Monroeville Mall.
Yeah, it definitely was.
It looked like that and everything.
Is that where you're from?
Hmm.
Oh, okay. That's what's up.
Penn Hills. Most of my older people, like my grandparents, they're all from the Hill. A lot of people from Hazelwood. And
Your
stuff
people
like
probably
that.
know my people.
Probably.
I don't know. What's your last name?
Cole. Stevens Cole McKenzie.
I don't know too many Coles. I wouldn't know. But
That's the Hazelwood side.
yeah, mine is Costins Williams.
Hmm.
Yeah, over on the hill. Yeah, those my peoples. We actually come from a music family. My uncle, well, my grandmother, she was a singer.
Mm-hmm.
My uncle, he actually produced a lot of music on the hill. Growing up, and I grew up listening to them. I can't even think of. I think they were called. Oh, I'm so upset that I can't remember what they is called.
Scorching Hot?
No, it was like Ma Familia or something like that. I can't remember. I was so young, but they used to actually record music when we were young, and my uncle. He actually moved down to Florida, and he recorded a few Pittsburgh artists living down in Florida.
Would you say that's what contributed to you starting to sing?
That was definitely what got it started. I did sing in a church, but it was like a short period of time. And it was only a short period of time because we stopped going to church at one point. It was kind of hard for us to get from Penn Hills to the Hill every day. So we actually ended up going to Mount Airy. And for some reason, Mount Airy did not have a youth choir, which was upsetting to me.
Do they have one now?
I'm not sure if they have a choir now, but the last time I went was maybe about 2 years ago. And I did ask around, like, is there a youth choir? Still wasn't a youth choir.
Would you be interested in putting together a youth choir over there?
Well, honestly, I would rather go back to my home church, Macedonia.
Don't they have one?
And yes, but you have to audition. So if you don't make the audition dates, it's going to be some time before you're able to be in the choir. But
I mean, you put it together, like you create the choir.
Yeah. That's a little bit, like, I feel like I have to, a choir outside of the church or inside of the church?
Both.
Both?
I would say, like, okay, you go to this church, man, y'all still ain't got no choir? All right, something needs to change, and then you be the one that makes it happen. Or you do your own thing, and they start traveling, and, like,
That would be nice. That would be nice. I feel like it's a lot of pressure, trying to start up something like that.
I mean, so is starting
you're right.
Beauty parlor.
No, but that's a great idea, though. I feel like that's something that the city needs. You know what I mean? Like,
You go to AMI?
What is that?
Afro-American Music Institute. It's the Homewood near the library.
I think, no, I've never been there before, but I think I tried to do some research on it before, and I don't think, did they work with adults?
Kinda. I did a program there. It was like up to like 14 or something like that. But I was taking piano lessons at the time. Yeah. And then I'll say as far as adults, they have like instructors come in and like teach the kids and stuff like that. But they also have a youth choir.
Okay. Yep. I actually didn't discover that program until after I was too old. So I haven't really been able to, like, I never really actually looked into trying to be an instructor or anything like that down there. That would be interesting. To be honest, I I definitely wasn't sure if music was always a thing that I wanted to do growing up. So even when I would have opportunities to do something that had to do anything with music, a lot of times I would hesitate. You know, I think it was just like an insecurity thing, not really feeling like I'm the greatest and things like that. So it definitely, me singing around family and friends and things like that helped me build up my confidence for me to actually be able to sing in front of people, or even for me to get into the studio and make a song. I didn't make my first official record until 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was when I dropped radio. Was it 2019? Yep. It was 3 years ago. Is that 3 years ago? Am I doing the math right?
Yeah.
19, 20. Yeah, okay. How do you think my interview's going so far? I'm a little nervous.
You're doing fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think you're doing
Why
fine.
are you nervous?
I don't know. I'm just a shy person.
Yeah, viewers watching, how do you think she's doing? It's not live right now, but I might keep this in the interview.
Wait, it might be because I pressed it.
No, I mean like.
Oh, you meant
know what I
live?
mean. Yeah,
well,
like
she
live,
can go
live.
live. You keep forgetting to tell them that.
Oh yeah, you go live if you want to.
Oh, no, it's all good.
He probably should have told the last one he could have went live. But no, don't be nervous. You got this. It's just Doug.
Thank you. I'm
Wow.
cracking up. It's
I
just
meant-
Doug.
Wow,
Like-
don't just dismiss me like.
No, I put some respect to your name, but it's just you.
Wow.
All right, I'm going to go live.
Well, so before you were saying you were you were bringing your confidence to fruition by witnessing your family do their thing in music and also being comfortable around them. That is your first audience, your captive audience too.
Right.
So how old were you when you started like just singing in front of them? Was it like a Justin Bieber thing, like your mom's just walking past, you're like in the bathroom getting ready for school, you singing, or were you like, hey, I'm enjoying this song, but I'm a like fake singing to this brush that I was brushing my hair with, and they're like, yo, you can really sing for real, like.
Yeah, my aunt, she used to date a DJ, and we used to walk down to his house over on Chauncey, and she used to be over there like cooking dinner, cleaning up and stuff like that, and we used to just run around the house doing kid stuff. And there was one time she had Deborah Cox, Nobody Wants to Be, yeah, she had that song on, Nobody Wants to Be Here, from Deborah Cox, and or Nobody's Supposed to Be Here. But yeah, I was jumping on the bed, singing it, like going crazy. I was probably like 4 or 5 years old, and she was like, "Hold on, wait a minute, turn the music down.
Hold on, you got some talent here.
Let me hear you sing it again." And I was all being shy, you know.
Yeah, put you on the spot real quick.
Yeah, she put me on the spot, but I definitely did sing for her. And she was like, "Oh, wait, we got another singer in the family, okay?" And we ended up having a cookout maybe a couple weeks or something like that down the line. And her boyfriend at the time had his DJ equipment up there on the court up on Francis. And yeah, she gonna put me on the spot again, like, yeah, you know how to sing, get yourself out here. You know what I mean? And I did start to sing, but I'm very shy, so I ended up just caving in, and I was just like, oh no, I can't finish this out. I thought I could do it, but ever since, my family will always just try to get me out of that shell and be like, you know, come on, Niecy, sing. I'm gonna come and record you. I'm gonna bring all my equipment. And I did record my first song called Best Friends when I was in 6th grade. Yeah, I was going through like some little drama with my friends, and I ended up falling out with one of my close friends from like 4th grade. And I named the song Best Friend.
It's hard being 12.
Yeah, it is.
12, 13 going. I mean, for real, that's well, from what I've in my experience, you know, that's a transitional period. You go from elementary school, middle school, things are changing, people are diving and delving into different things. So, you know,
Yeah.
there is some truth there.
Yeah, it was definitely a little rough. Trying to find yourself at that young age and trying to know what's real and what's not and stuff like that. So I was definitely hurt at that
So was
age.
you coming at your best friend? Was it a diss song? Was it like...
No, it was like, I miss
hurt,
you.
or-
Like,
like Gary Come Home?
Yeah, like, I miss you, friend. Like, can you be my friend again? I didn't mean to hurt you. Like,
man.
Cause I did something. I was a little unloyal at the time, and I really didn't know.
How could you do that?
It was terrible.
Why would you do that?
I was just trying to find myself doing stupid stuff.
Just trying to find yourself.
Friendship.
Just trying.
And I'm like, best friend, I need you back in my life. Don't do that to me. We did end up being friends again, which is the funny part.
That's what's up.
I just went out with her last night.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Who is this friend?
Her name is Christian. I love her. Yeah.
Cool. All right. Shout out to Christian. So when did you start getting into, and correct me if I'm wrong, when did you get into the cosmetology field? Is that the right way to say it? Cosmetology
The cosmetology field, you said it the right way the first time.
Okay.
But yeah, I started it literally like when I was 18. I never thought I would ever be a cosmetologist. I honestly wanted to be a chef growing up. I always wanted to cook. I loved to cook. All my family and friends know how to throw down in the kitchen.
Okay.
No doubt about it. My seasoning skills are on
Seasoning
point.
skills?
Yeah.
All right, walk us through the process. Let's say
Yeah.
you're about to season some chicken or something.
I'm cracking up.
What's going on?
First of all, I always clean my chicken.
Right.
I clean it with some lukewarm water, some vinegar, some lemon juice. Get up in there, clean them real good. I'll pat them dry, lay them down on a sheet, pull out some seasoning salt, some garlic salt, some garlic powder, some onion powder. I might throw some, depending on what kind of chicken I'm making, like if I got different flavors.
Let's be healthy. Let's say baked.
Yeah. All right. So if it's baked out, throw all them seasonings on there and put a real healthy amount on there. Some garlic and herb, olive, and I just make sure everything is covered up real nicely. Get seasoning all in the crevices. Throw a little bit of olive oil or something on top and bake them in the oven till they're nice and crispy. I'll put a little bit of holes in it, get all that extra juice out of there. I don't like the real moist chicken. Like, I don't want it to be dry, but I don't want to feel the wetness. It needs to be well done.
Like soggy. Yeah.
But yeah, I know how to cook. But yeah, back to your question about the hair. I used to do my sister's hair when I was in high school, and like my mom used to get her hair done professionally, but the people she used to take us to, we never used to like the way that they would do her hair. There was like new trends and stuff coming out. My mom was the older stylist. So we wouldn't like the way I'll be styled. So once we start getting a little bit of money, we used to go to the hair store, go get us some little doobies or something like that.
What's a doobie?
A doobie.
What that is?
A doobie is like a 12-inch little ball of hair that already come pre-curled. So
like a track?
Yeah, it's a track.
Okay.
But it'll come pre-curled, but it's just a little curl, like a little bump. So when you put it in your hair, it got like a little flip to it.
Give you some volume real quick.
Yeah. So we used to do glue-ins with those and make it look like it was a real hair laying a real hair on top, so people would never know. But we used to do those and the little invisible parts. I'm sure you probably remember those. No? People's parts used to be looking dumb wide. Do you remember that? No?
Dumb wide? That's not invisible.
Exactly.
What's invisible about that?
Exactly.
Wow.
They were not invisible. But yeah, I ended up going to beauty school because I realized that I didn't want to be in a nursing program in CCC anymore. And the only reason why I had a son when I was in 12th grade, so I needed to find a way for me to make income ASAP.
Right.
And somebody that I looked up to was Tanil down at Dreams Hair Salon. Tanil down at Dreams Hair Salon.
I don't think I ever went to Dream. She like kind of, no disrespect when I say it, she like kind of loud.
I don't think she's loud.
Kind of heavy set, loud.
No.
No? Never Tanil?
She's not heavy set. She's thick. She got nice body shape, dark skin.
She just have a kid?
She's short.
Oh yeah, definitely
We're not
different
talking
Tanil.
about the same.
Not the same Tanil. Shout out to both Tanils though. You know what I'm saying? I hope y'all's prospering.
I love Tanil. But yeah, she was getting to it in the city. Like I remember getting on the bus and stuff like that. I would see people coming out of Dreams with their hair laid, slayed, looking good. And I just thought of her. Like I know that, I mean, not to be counting her paper, but I knew she had to be making at least like $100,000 a year, and she just did it just by doing people's hair. So I was like, I want to do that. I'm doing that. Like, so I ain't even gonna lie, I ain't really had no skills. Like, people who've been watching me all these years might realize, like, you know, Janiece got so much better over the years, because I wasn't the best hairstylist, but I just kept going, and, you know, over time, my clientele just kept going up because I never stopped.
So earlier you said, well, two things. Earlier you said you had your son as a senior in high school?
Yes.
What was going through your head at that time?
It was real tough for me because I was, you know, with my boyfriend at the time for maybe about a year and a half. And, you know, it was just something that was unexpected. But I looked at the strength of my mother, and my mom has 6 kids. And she had her first child, I believe, when she was 16. So I would say out of all my mother's kids, I'm the most like her.
Are you the oldest?
No, I'm the 3rd oldest.
Okay, so middle child?
One of the middle children. Because it's the even number. But, you know, whenever my mom would go to work and stuff like that, I would make sure that everybody ate dinner. I would wake people up for school. You know, I was always like the mother in the household, even like when my mother wasn't around. So I just thought to myself that I can do this, even though it was a mistake. I just always kept that in the back of my head, and it was tough. I remember sleeping in my mom's bed, crying myself to sleep because I had to go to school pregnant. You know, it was embarrassing.
That's
you know, I was like the talk of the school in 12th grade. People would smile all in my face and talk all kind of crap behind my back about how, you know, I'm young and I'm pregnant. But it was tough. But it was a turnaround for me in my life. It helped me realize that I need to get on it right now, you know, because it's not a joke no more. So it was kind of hard growing up, and because I was still growing up with a kid.
Kid with a kid.
Yeah. It was hard for me to, you know, have fun with my friends and go to parties and go up to college and stuff like that, like the rest of the kids. Because I could have went to college. I was a high honor student. The highest GPA I had in my 11th and 12th grade year was a 4.2. Like, I didn't play about I didn't play about class. Like, I was really, really, really serious about my education.
And to do that while pregnant and going through all those different changes and your life changing, and your life's changing anyway, about to graduate high school, and, you know, some people get the boot, some people get married, some people go into the career for the rest of their life, go to college, you know.
Yeah, I still graduated with the honors around my neck, which was great.
Period. Big cords.
Yeah, but that's pretty much it. With that my son's my motivation. That's what got me to grind as hard as I did all these years.
That's what's up. I'm glad you got to. I'm glad you had the support system that you had, because it sounds like you really have a solid foundation at the crib with your family.
Yes, if it wasn't for my mother, I wouldn't be able to do 80% of the stuff I do. Like, for real, she is a real one. Shout out to Shaka. She's the insurance lady. A lot of people know my mom. Like, she holds it down with the insurance in the city.
What kind of insurance?
She sells life insurance, business insurance, auto insurance.
Just insurance,
home
period.
Insurance, yeah. She's definitely doing it down at Brown Insurance.
Hey, that's smart though. She ain't just stick to. I'm sorry. What did you say? The insurance agency?
Brown Insurance Agency.
Okay, is that her thing?
She's actually the manager of the office, but
Okay.
the guy who runs it, his name is Kevin Brown.
Okay.
Yep, black owned.
All right, that's what's up. That's what's up. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Y'all need some insurance, which we know some of y'all probably do. I'm gonna need more insurance in the future, so
Yeah.
it's a good. You know what I'm saying? It's a good plug to have.
Yeah, definitely.
So. Infamous Beauty Lounge. What was the process of you opening that?
Infamous Beauty Lounge. Honestly, I have a business partner. What happened was he had a space that was available.
Yeah.
That needed rented out for someone to come in there and run a salon. It was just an opportunity that I came across because of a barber named Swavey. Swavey, me and him, that's just my homie. Like, we would just talk all the time just about life. And he was just like, yo, like, I got this opportunity for you. Like, there's a salon space that's available. it's ready to get rolling or whatever, like all you gotta do is just come down and, you know, put everything, all your stuff in there and get it off the ground. And at the time, it was like a year ago, I was like, no, I'm not ready for that. I got all this stuff going on. I ain't about to open up no salon. Are you crazy? And he's just like, no, I'm telling you, like, this is for you. And I'm just like,
so what
no.
changed? What changed? Because I'm in like the situation now where like I try and get most of my friends around me to start doing like, you know, like maximize the opportunity or platform that they got or something. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like what your friend was doing. But I find myself, you know, some of them say, man, what? I'm too busy as it is. Even with me, like I'll say, yo, I'm too busy with this to do that. So like what, for you, what was it that changed like mentally where you're like, you know what, I'm gonna bet on myself?
I realized there was just certain things in my life that I needed. Like I needed more space, which means I needed to move. I also wanted to expand my hair business because I do sell hair as well. In the salon that I was in, I wasn't able to really promote that I sell hair just for business purposes. And I just was thinking like, well, what can I do for me to get out this situation? I'm feeling stuck right now. I'm feeling stuck. What else can I do? Get a salon. I've been doing hair. Either I work on my own or get a salon. And just me knowing how I am, I inspire a lot of other people. So,
period.
I'm like, I could build a team. I just start thinking to myself what I need to do, and I just did it.
You just utilized all the resources you built up that, and I could be wrong, you probably didn't even think like, yo, I could use all of this way. I
didn't, and it took Swavy to really put that in my head. He used to call me every couple months like, you crazy? You still ain't doing this? And I'm like, nah.
Hey, but keeping it real with yourself though.
Yeah, now I don't know what it was. I just finally made it click, but I just ended up calling the guy who was renting this space out, and I'm just like, is this still available? A year later, after I ain't gonna lie, every little space that I would ride past, I was for lease. I would call all kinds of stuff. Nobody would ever get back to me. I never got a chance to even go look at a space through this entire year, even though I was trying consistently. And this space was still available after a year. So I just was like,
it was meant for you.
It was meant for me. It was nobody but God. At this point, I'm just like, there's no way. So, yeah.
So what are some do's and don'ts in the cosmetology field? Like both being, let's say, someone who's doing the hair and someone who is the owner.
That's a good question.
Could be like just one.
I would say don't make everything about yourself, especially when you have a team. You want to make people feel 100% appreciated and needed as a part of your team. You know what I mean? That's definitely something that I would say is a do. Make sure you make everybody feel welcome and appreciated who's underneath you.
So what would be something to look out for? Like let's say I get a job at Infamous, I'm doing hair, and maybe I'm thinking about doing my own thing or whatever, but I'm clicking off, I'm getting clients. What's something to be wary of that most people don't know once they get into that?
I'm sorry.
No, take your time.
One thing is that it definitely does cost to be the boss. There's some things that you might have to take responsibility for that you wouldn't expect to take responsibility for, only because you have to protect the people that you have on your side. Such as, for example, I didn't know, but this system that I was using was taking 30% of clients that were new. And I didn't know that. They were taking 30%.
What system? Like payroll system or something?
It's called Booksy. It's a booking app.
Yeah.
And the way that I have it set up, whenever people pay, I just send the stylist their money. And I didn't realize that 30% was coming out. So every time I would send people their money, I'm really losing 30%. Like that 30%, I'm paying out my pocket, and I've probably been doing this for about 2 months. So they took a portion of my money, the Booksy app, that I couldn't get back, but it was just a bullet that I had to bite because it was my fault. I wouldn't, let my stylist know, I gave you a little bit too much money 2 weeks ago. I need that money back. You know what I mean? It was just like, there's just little stuff like that.
That's a good one,
you just have to bite the bullet. It is messed
up,
but I was messed up for a second.
That's a real good one. You're being mindful of like how everything's set up and all of that, and not knowing, like that could happen.
Yeah, it was.
Be little stuff like that. Yeah, nobody. Yeah, I wouldn't think that nothing like that would happen. I thought they wouldn't take nothing. Like, you just pay for the app. Cool, set your stuff up straight.
Yeah, it was just a little setting that I turned on, but I really didn't read the ins and outs too much. It was my fault.
What are your thoughts on the Pittsburgh music scene right now?
I feel like our music scene is definitely doing a lot better than it has a few years back. I feel like a lot of people are coming together, trying to build projects and stuff together. There's different people from different sides of the city who are collabing and stuff like that, and I love to see that because I know there was like a lot of, not saying I don't really know too much about the streets and stuff like that.
Good, that is great.
Yeah, because I just know that there will be certain sides that's like beefing and stuff like that, and I'm not really hearing too much of that,
right?
Like how it used to be in the past, but I know there's a lot more like R&B artists and stuff starting to pop out, which I think is dope. But there's not too many of those in the city, I would say.
No. If you ask me, the market is wide open for all of y'all as far as R&B.
Yeah.
When people say, oh, R&B doesn't do good in Pittsburgh, there's just no market here. And if there's no market here, I just got to create the market and stamp it.
Yeah, I feel like the hardest thing that I've came across with me being an R&B artist in the city is that a lot of producers and engineers deal with rap. It's hard to find somebody who knows how to truly engineer an R&B artist. They'll just throw a little bit of auto tune on it when they should be using, I think it's called Melodyne.
Sounds like melatonin to me. I don't know Melodyne.
I might be wrong. No, I'm lying. I think it's called Ableton or something.
Ableton Live, Logic. Those are programs.
It's like what I'm saying is there's this software that you can literally go in on, and you might be like you could tweak stuff like a note,
like an engineering software.
Yeah, like versus just throwing an auto tune over an entire song.
Right.
It's like just little parts of the song. You know what I mean?
Well, you need an engineer.
Exactly. I do need an engineer, but I don't really know where to find an R&B engineer in Pittsburgh. Like
you don't need an R&B engineer. You need a multifaceted, like a universal engineer.
Universal engineer.
Yeah.
Well,
which means you need somebody like big.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because no disrespect, but most people up and coming that are producers and engineers, they might not know how to do that. They might just know hip-hop. Hip-hop's more prominent.
I do have an engineer, but he's not in Pittsburgh. He's all the way out LA. All the way out in LA, and he's signed to a label, so it's a little bit.
I mean, you can send it to him.
I know,
Internet.
But it's just
Chemistry.
The market is different out there, is what I want to say. When it this industry is expensive. Okay.
Facts.
Like I would have to know like this is the one for me to send a record out there because it's a risk,
Yeah.
if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I definitely hear you on that.
Yeah.
So, what's some advice you got for other young singers and cosmetologists?
I would definitely say for young singers to, if you can, write as many songs as you can as possible while you're young, because you could definitely catch on to the way things are supposed to sound and everything at a young age, and it's a lot easier for you to just hop right in the booth and just make a hit without you even having to write anything down. You just go in there and be creative and freestyle just from you having so many things written down, so many ideas being written down and jotted down, and also network with other artists. You know, just to kind of open up your mind a little bit and, you know, just see different perspectives that other people have. And for cosmetologists, just always practice. Always try new things. Don't ever allow the trends to intimidate you. Just continue to do them whenever there are new trends coming out, just to kind of keep up with the market, because that's what's going to keep clientele in your chair, especially if you want to see new faces. Yeah.
Well, what's 2022 looking like for you?
2022, it's looking like I won't have to work as hard as I've been working.
Congratulations. Why?
In the salon.
Because business is flourishing?
Business is flourishing, and I already have a set clientele. You know, my clients, they are on a set schedule, so I don't really do the squeeze-ins and stuff like that anymore. I just kind of allow a little bit more time for myself, and I'd rather have a little bit more time just so I can be there for my stylists who are in there, and also makeup artists and nail techs. I don't want to be so unavailable that I cannot be there for them whenever they need me. So I won't be as hands-on, in other words, which allows more time for me to be able to write some music. So 2022, I'm hoping that I can drop a project, because I do have a mixtape on the way. I don't know what it's going to be called just yet, but I am working with M. Tomlin, and I have a couple pieces that I'll be dropping that I recorded with Icy as well. He's trying to like hop back in. He's trying to hop into the R&B lane. He's a little bit more into the trap.
Yeah.
But got some hits coming.
Well, before we get up out of here, where can the people tune in? Well, before we get up out of here, thank you for doing this interview. I appreciate you coming through. It's been great hearing your story. It's very insightful, very interesting. Proud to see you, a young black woman, business owner, doing your singing thing, taking care of your son, and doing everything that you need to do. You know, I know it could be hard out here, even if you weren't a parent. Just in general, like, you know, it could be difficult venturing off and pursuing what it is that you really want to do, and your dreams, passions, and goals, and all of that. But I see you as somebody who embodies the future flavors of the city. Like, as far as everything that you're doing, I feel like a lot of up-and-coming stylists and singers and even producers, I think a lot of people are going to learn from you as you keep excelling and doing it. It is what you do.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. But before we get up out of here, where can the people follow you? Where can they tune in? Where can they get their hair done? Where can they get a wig? All of that.
You can follow me on Instagram at Janiece Lasaun. It's spelled JANIECE LASAUN. You can also follow my beauty page called Infamous Beauty Lounge. It's at Infamous Beauty Lounge on Instagram as well. You can go on our website and purchase some bundles at infamousbeautylounge.com. Bundles, wigs, you can also book an appointment through that website as well. We're located at 1701 Monongahela Avenue, Swissville, PA 15218.
We're going to get features.
They could get features by DMing me right at Janiece Lasaun on Instagram. Again, that's JANIECE LASAUN.
She went live. I just peeped that. I'm like, I'm looking at myself. I'm like, I followed her, and I said live. And I turned to my right. I said, oh, hell no. I'm like sniping. I look crazy.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, Janiece Lasaun.